What is your purpose? Are you being intentional in everything that you do? What is my purpose? That can be the most difficult question that you can ever ask yourself. It is not something that you can think up. It is not something that you can stress about. It is not something you can muster up. It is something that simply will happen when you are being intentional in everything that you do. When you love your spouse, your significant other, your children, are you pouring your entire being into that person? Or are you giving it mediocre effort and hoping for the best? What is your purpose? Sometimes when we pour ourselves into a person or a thing, what naturally happens, we become afraid. We become terrified. We feel as though we're going to be left alone, bewildered, unfulfilled. You cannot make a goal unless you have created the goal. You cannot accomplish something unless you have made that goal. What is your purpose? Are you being intentional in everything that you do? Years ago, exactly 2008, I realized what my purpose was. It was something that simply happened. I was in a coma for 8 days. I wanted to be in Florida, where all my loves are. The day I got out of the hospital, they clipped my vocal cords so I couldn't talk. And I couldn't walk. And I got on the plane. And I had a layover from California to Atlanta. And as I sat in the airport in that wheelchair, trying for 2 hours to signal someone to help me, at that very moment when I felt desperate and alone, terrified, I realized that the disabled are invisible to the world. After signaling for 2 hours, finally a young girl came, and she came close enough for me to tell her and ask her favor to get a person so that they can transition me from one destination to the next. We move about our days as the people in the airport move about their lives, sometimes aimlessly, oftentimes without an intention, oftentimes without noticing the world that we function in. When I finally made it to Florida, as I thank God for everything that He's done for my life, and for giving me a second chance, I realized at that moment that caring for people, loving with everything that I have and everything that I do, was my purpose. Oftentimes I'm kind beyond people's imagination. But that's because I know that my purpose is to care for you, each and every one of you in this room, along with the entire world. My gift, my life gift, is to give myself to the people whom I love. And I see how my Baileys, my amazing crew, my soldiers, my chiefs and my captains. I see how you go about your day every single day, caring for that young girl sitting in the wheelchair in Atlanta that was invisible to the world. I see your kind words and your honeycombs and your lips, and I experience it, and I simply love it, because it gives me the opportunity to throw everything that I am and everything that I will ever be into who you are, to help you to build, to grow, to be strong, to strive, not only in your professional lives, but also in your personal lives. My purpose allowed me to touch you in ways that others may not. It allowed me to give you some well-needed love sometimes and allow you to cry on my shoulders when it's necessary. And if you haven't cried on Mama Bear's shoulder, she's pretty comforted. Airplanes were made for flying, boats were made for sailing. Cars were made for driving. Men and women were made with a purpose to be great. Because within each of you, you have that greatness. But when you find yourself not realizing what that greatness looks like, you must become intentional in your efforts. What are your goals? What is your purpose? What is it that you need in your life to be intentional with so that you can get to that ultimate goal? At the start of every year, one of the things that I always do, and I encourage each and every one of you to do the same, I pull out my notebook, what I call the Bible, as you guys all know, and I write my goals in this notebook. Sometimes I don't go back to look at it, but at the end of the year, every single time when I go back, those goals have been exceeded. What is your purpose? Are you writing down? Are you setting those goals? Are you being intentional in your efforts? The person that you are is unique. Each and every one of you in this room is unique to the world. And you must find your talents. You must find that greatness that God has created, the greatness that He has given you. You must find that love to pour into everything that you do. Because when you do that, you will be left fulfilled, filled with pride, filled with accomplishment. And even if that circumstance does not work out exactly how you want it to work, you will still be prideful and you will still feel accomplished. Are you being intentional in everything that you do? Now, it is your time to create the life that you want.